Well, who the fuck is that guy then? I've been tracking that damn parcel for over 13 years, and then this moron just swoops in and finds it straight away? That's not remotely fair. That's got to be for the convenience of plot. Well, I won't let him get away with it. I'll follow him to the ends of the earth to retrieve that parcel, and I know just how to do it.
Well, I think I've looked at this book for long enough. Definitely long enough for a load of exposition to be spouted anyway, so I'd say I'm probably done here at this point. Let's get this thing the fuck out of here.
You fool. Now I can follow you wherever you go, and I shall retrieve that package.
Hey there, how are you? That's good. Listen, I got a question for you. Do you remember Myspace? I do, because I'm old, but not as old as you think. I'm not actually 57. I'm 23. I know, it's pretty bad. What can I say? The Big Bang gave my genes an extra kick in the face when it all began. Point is, I'm 23, so when I was around 7 to 10 years old, I remember Myspace being quite prevalent. From like 2006 to the tail end of 2008, I remember people logging in to their Myspace accounts in our IT classes every week. Once a week we'd go to the school IT room, which was filled with those big white computers from the early 2000s, the ones that were the size of a small infant child. And we'd go on then with the teacher and we'd learn how to use Word and PowerPoint and shit like that. And I remember being in those classes and watching the cool kids logging in at the back on their Myspace accounts and sending each other smiley face messages from across the room. I, of course, it's not a surprise to hear, was not one of the cool kids. So maybe you're like me and you remember Myspace as a brief sort of blip in your formative years. Or perhaps you're a little older than me and you actually used Myspace briefly or for a period of your life. Or perhaps you're younger than me, and if you are, fuck you for being young. If you are younger than me, you probably didn't use Myspace. I never used Myspace, it was just around when I was a kid. In my reckoning, Myspace completely just plateaued off after 2009, just basically spiraled off into irrelevant land. And things like Facebook and Twitter and YouTube started getting big and becoming more brand looking and more professional like. So since then, I haven't really heard of Myspace. You probably haven't either, unless of course you work for the company. And if you do, I just want to say, you poor thing, what an embarrassing job you must have. Imagine going to like a Tinder first date and having to tell someone that you work for Myspace. Oh, Stephen, you're so funny and charming and intelligent and sexy. I really want to have sex with you. Tell me again, by the way, where did you say you worked? That's an excellent question. Thanks for asking, Stacey, you eligible mating partner you. I actually work in Myspace. I'm responsible for making sure that the servers that keep Myspace going... Sorry, did you say Myspace? Yeah, listen, this has been fun and all, but I've just suddenly remembered that my mother is terminally ill, so I've got to go. Thanks, this has been... Wait, please, no, don't leave. Yeah, this is... Bye. Bye. Oh, not you too. Not another one. That was very funny, wasn't it? Props to my costume department, which is just fucking me. Anyway, some of you might be wondering why I'm making jokes about someone working at Myspace in 2022, and that's because, as I'm sure some of you at least will have twigged, Myspace is still a thing. Myspace hasn't like closed down, it's not like packed up and gone home, it's still fucking here. You can still use Myspace as a social media app today in 2022. It's a perfectly functional, working social media platform. Some of you, I'm sure, probably already know this. I learned about this maybe 2-3 years ago and it blew my mind then. And so I'm hoping to blow some fresh virgin minds that don't know that Myspace is still a fucking thing. Now that probably raises a lot of questions in your mind. The principal one will probably be why. So in order to try and soften that aching why in the pit of your soul, join me, Mother Moocake, as I try and give you a brief history lesson on internet social media sites and Myspace. Yeah, there we go, so that. And then I think it's this way. Yeah, here we go. We do shit properly here. So welcome class to History with Mother Moocake. I'm actually smoking crystal meth out of this. Public disclaimer, I'm not. Please don't terminate my YouTube channel. That was just a funny joke, alright? Please don't fuck me in the ass. Anyway, let's get serious, boys and girls. So, today's lesson. MySpace. MySpace started in 2003, which is pretty early for social media standards. How early? I hear you asking me in my funny hat. Let me put it in context. The first ever social media site, called 6 Degrees, was made in 1997. The next was called Friendster and was made in 2001. That's 4 whole years between the first and the second social media site being made. Shows you how slow it was. Anyway, following that, in 2002, LinkedIn came along. And then, finally in 4th place, we've got MySpace in 2003. MySpace is the 4th oldest social media platform. If we compare MySpace with social media sites that we'd be more acquainted with, Facebook started in 2004, making it 18 years old now. That's right, baby. Facebook's legal now. Come get it. As well as Facebook, you've also got YouTube, which started in 2005, and Twitter, which started in 2006. And it's worth remembering as well that for a period of time, MySpace coexisted and competed with all of these social media platforms. Can I take the hat off now? It's just... I'm gonna take the hat off now. It's not you, it's me. Now, MySpace managed to get reasonably popular in its first couple of years on the internet. Do bear in mind, of course, that this is the early to mid 2000s. The internet is a lot smaller, a lot clunkier, and a lot slower than it is today. One of the main reasons for this was because it was encouraging big music artists and big music producers of the time to make accounts and promote themselves on MySpace, which at the time in the early 2000s was a bit of a novel idea. So that got them somewhere. They were reasonably popular, but 2005 is when they had a fucking field day. In 2005, a company that's now known as Fox Corporation bought MySpace's parent company for $580 million. Again, remember, this is the mid-2000s. Social media sites, and indeed the entire fucking internet, are significantly smaller than they are today. So for one of these social media sites to suddenly have several very large, very powerful mainstream corporations looking its way, that's pretty fucking good. The attention, publicity, and I'm sure massive new budget helped to absolutely skyrocket MySpace through the ranks of the internet social media list. From 2005 to 2008, MySpace was the most popular social media site on the internet. In 2006, it overtook Yahoo and Google as the most visited site in the United States. It even started a direct competitor to YouTube in 2007, which, in an alternate timeline where shit didn't hit the fan, I'm convinced would have outcompeted and destroyed YouTube. But, as I'm sure you've guessed, shit did in fact hit the fan. In May 2007, it was announced publicly by no less than 8 US Attorney Generals that they had found thousands of known sexual predators on MySpace, some of which were convicted. Suddenly, MySpace was involved in lawsuits and was all over the news for all the wrong reasons. Parents, hearing about it on the news, were suddenly discouraging their children from using MySpace and other social media sites. And as well as that, a lot of internet safety campaigns started up around this time too. Speaking from experience as someone who grew up in the 2000s, I remember being shown a lot of internet safety videos in school. Say from the ages of 7 to 12, so that's 2006 to 2011, I remember seeing quite a lot of internet safety videos in school, and these would all usually follow the same sort of little pattern. They'd all be slightly scary for kids, and they'd all warn against talking to strangers on the internet, usually accompanied with a little acted video of a child doing that and talking to a stranger on the internet and then proceeding to get stalked or harassed by an internet predator. Basically a stern sort of way of warning kids, you know, not to talk to fucking strangers. Most of these videos are by now pretty cringy, as is most content from the mid-2000s. Some of them were even cringy at the time they were made. But they've got a good message at their core, and they did at least manage to teach some children about internet safety, so it gets a seal of approval from me. Point is though, in a lot of these internet safety videos, the kid in the video who's talking to the stranger, they'd be using a MySpace-esque account, or a MySpace-esque social media site. You know, it would be like a rip-off of MySpace, basically. And that kind of gives you an idea of how controversial MySpace was around this time. MySpace, to be frank, wasn't perfect anyway, even without the thousands of sexual predators using it. The site was reportedly riddled with bugs, or at the very least wasn't combating this large amount of bugs as much as other sites, because, let's be fair, this is the 2000s. Every site on the internet was riddled with bugs. So there was that element, but there was also the fact that MySpace was absolutely covered in ads. Not only were they spammed at you constantly, but some of them were also pretty dodgy as well. Some of them were quite clearly scams, others were very NSFW. which probably didn't help MySpace's image at all when it got embroiled in a scandal concerning sexual predators. Basically, what I'm getting at here is that MySpace got fucked from every angle. News sites were reporting negatively on it, so parents were watching that and discouraging children, say, under 12, from using the site. The site was also riddled with ads and riddled with bugs, so older teenagers and young adults weren't using the site as much either, because they were sick of it. My own little game theory is that MySpace had been up in the top spot for so long that it forgot it wasn't the only social media site. If MySpace was the only social media site at this time, people would put up with the bugs. They'd grumble about it, but they'd put up with it still, because there's no alternative. In the same way that we today will grumble about YouTube, but we will still put up with its bugs and mistakes, because there's no real alternative to YouTube. It's the only video uploading social media site that we have. And this is where I think MySpace fucked up. They'd been top dog for so long that they'd started to think they were indispensable, which of course they weren't. Other competing social media sites existed and were on the rise. By contrast, Facebook was on the scene at this time and was getting a rise in popularity at MySpace's expense. At this time, and compared to MySpace, Facebook looked better, was easier to navigate, and, get this, was ad-free. Oh, the irony. Oh, the irony. Anyway, Facebook flew up the pecking order pretty quickly, and by August of 2008 had overtaken MySpace as the world's largest social media site. Shortly after this, MySpace launched its long-awaited music service called MySpace Music, which had collaborated with 4 major record labels and allowed users of the service to stream and download any of the music from all 4 of those record label companies on their phone or on their device. Now, some of you might be thinking, this sounds a hell of a lot like Spotify, and that's because it is. But bear in mind that this is 2008, and Spotify doesn't even get founded until 2011. Honestly, MySpace Music could have become an equivalent of Spotify, again in an alternate timeline. The only problem was that MySpace launched this music service a month after being dethroned as the top social media site, and after a year of horrible lawsuits and terrible scandals concerning it. So naturally, the music service tanked. In 2011, MySpace sold for $35 million, which I know is still a lot, but in terms of huge, big tech corporations buying and selling each other, that's fucking pennies. Bear in mind that 5 years earlier to this, in 2005, MySpace sold for $580 million. In 2013, the site attempted to relaunch itself again with a music sort of angle to it by collaborating with Justin Timberlake, who released a single to mark the glorious occasion. And this glorious occasion did fuck all. The site was still just as dead, uninteresting and forgotten after its grand relaunch as it was before. It's changed hands a couple of times over the years again, all the while just progressively sinking down and down the popularity ladder. Pretty soon, even the scandal that crippled MySpace was forgotten, and the site confined to its own little corner of a shelf in internet history. And then, in 2019, MySpace just decided to fucking destroy its own shelf. MySpace had somehow managed to delete basically all of its information from before 2015. So basically, all the records of worth that MySpace ever had, they're all gone. So well done anyway, MySpace. Archaeologists and historians of the future are going to fucking hate you as well. But here, ladies and gentlemen, is, in my opinion, the most staggering thing of all. In spite of all of this, from site-shaking scandals to years neglected and forgotten, MySpace is still a thing. And I'm not even sure if it's trying to be remembered or trying to relaunch itself at this point. It's just sort of there, in a limbo. And so, without further ado, I shall be taking you onto MySpace today. Think of it like Mother Moocake bringing you all on a fun little school trip. Ooh, actually, that's a bad analogy. So, here we are. This is me on MySpace. First impressions. Ooh, Rammstein. Oh, Rammstein. I like Rammstein. I didn't know they were making a new album. That's quite a good start. Just from a scroll down the main homepage, it just looks like another kind of BuzzFeed-esque social media site. I don't know what I was expecting, to be fair. Hold on. Calvin Harris has a MySpace page. No fucking way. 200,000... I assume that's MySpace's version of followers. Yeah, I can't really tell. One thing I'm noticing is that you have to scroll sideways. I don't know what it's like on a mobile. Does MySpace even have a mobile app? Yeah, it's got an app. Again, I wasn't sure what I was expecting, but in my head I just didn't imagine MySpace to have an app. Again, because it comes from that bygone 2000s era of the internet, and that's where it died as well, basically. Oh, hold on. According to the reviews, this isn't the actual MySpace app. We've gone down a fucking rabbit hole here, haven't we? So this is like a job seekers app, and they've called it MySpace. Right, we will actually get back to MySpace itself in a second. This is just far too interesting. And we were already down a rabbit hole as well. We were looking at fucking Calvin Harris's MySpace page. I mean, I will say that it's a bit weird that you've got to scroll sideways. That was the tangent I was on before I went on another tangent. I don't think the actual like layout of the profiles is particularly good. I don't like this sideways thing. Calvin Harris under control. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, this was released in 2014. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. They've that's fucking brilliant. Calvin Harris's ancient MySpace page, which doesn't seem to have been updated in fucking years. And they're using it on their front page as promotion. They're just outing themselves as a completely dead social media site. This is great. Let's go back to the homepage. While that loads, this is the actual MySpace app now. I'm sorry this is so fucking chaotic. I should probably have just done one thing after the other, but no, we're bouncing back and forth. So this is the actual MySpace app, not just some job seekers app that stole the name MySpace. MySpace is a social networking service based in the US. Launched on August 1st, 2003, the site was the first social media network to reach a global audience and had a significant influence on technology, pop culture and music. Even MySpace is talking about itself in the past tense here. Even they're acknowledging a little bit there that they're fucking dead. I can't even access everything. I thought it was my internet connection, but looking at the reviews, I see that I'm not the only one having issues loading photos, profiles, etc. Okay, so some of the stuff that's not loading on the front page of MySpace, I'm going to assume that's down to MySpace, not my shitty internet. Last updated February. Installs, it's only got about 10,000 installs. I mean, Facebook would have assumedly like millions. You know what I mean? Just off the top of my head as a guess. 10,000 for a social media site, not very good. Okay, anyway, let's just move on to the main attraction and actually make a fucking MySpace account. Oh wow. Oh wow, you can join MySpace with Facebook and Twitter. How the mighty have fallen. Fuck it, I think I'll just join with Twitter because my Twitter is connected to my YouTube channel. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just not working, to be honest. Like, I know that my internet is shit, don't get me wrong. That I'm acknowledging that. That's a possible factor. But at the same time, based on the reviews I've read and based on the fact that some thumbnails just won't load and that's MySpace's fault, this could easily just be a shit link, to be honest. Yeah, like, it's just not load. Fuck it, I'll try and do this the old-fashioned way then. Oh, please enter a valid zip code, right. I don't fucking have one. What? Can I just get like a fake zip code? I hope this isn't illegal or anything. Random zip codes, US Postal Cities random lists. Right, I'm just gonna fucking paste that in and see if it works. Oh, that seems to be working. Excellent. Right, we've fooled the system. Fuck it, I don't need zip codes anymore. What are you about? Well, I'm a musician, for one. I'm a member. We pre-selected this for you. You're very keen for members, aren't you, MySpace? I am an artist. I think my show is a form of art, the Moocake show. Admittedly, it's some very shit art. I'll put comedian because, you know, my ego could use that. Take me to my profile. Right, I don't want that as my fucking... Oh, I've got to verify it. Fuck, hold on. Verify your email first. I do not have... Maybe it's in my spam, actually. Maybe it's in my junk. I hope it's in my junk, otherwise I haven't. No, it's not in my junk either. Can I do anything without verifying my account, is what I want to know. Or do I have to verify the account? It's MySpace, for fuck's sake. Who cares? It's been about 20 minutes now, and I still haven't had any email from MySpace, any verification email. So if that comes through, eventually I will set up a full MySpace page. Hopefully I'll get to do that, because it'd be funny. But basically, as soon as you make an account on MySpace, and until you verify your email, you can't use the site while you're signed in. That page I kept getting where it said verify your email first, that's not just when you're trying to access your profile, that's when you're trying to access any and every page on MySpace with an unverified account. So I've had to actually sign out of my new MySpace account to continue using MySpace. We are on the featured page. Let's see what music is all about. Some of the artworks just straight up aren't loading, and I don't think that's down to me. Again, I think that is just good old endearing MySpace. Are they deliberately all kind of oldish songs? Like, MySpace, we get it, you're old and out of touch. You don't need to like rub it in our face all the fucking time. Let's move on to videos then. Too short getting nailed. fuck is MySpace doing? Porn now? MySpace could just become a porn site. That would easily bring some numbers back in, easily bring some viewers back. Nothing's fucking loading. Like, if I just randomly look up Twitter, like, even on my shitty internet, you can see that it loads quite quickly. You know what I mean? Like, it's... But with this, it's just taking ages. And I would assume that's just because, like, the site is really... just hasn't been updated or checked over properly in years, I would assume. Oh, right, it's just about getting nails done. Well, that's fine then, because I don't have any interest in that at all, so... To be honest, I'm kind of glad that it didn't load after all. Okay, so we've got videos, and now finally we've got people. And this is just their connect page then. So that's nothing, that's just all the different profiles. Again, most of which I would assume haven't been uploaded in fucking ages. Yeah, even Jimmy Kimmel gave up posting on MySpace in 2018. And those fucking TV show hosts will cling to anything for attention. You know what they're like, they're fucking vultures. So I'd say, yeah, this site is completely dead, has been for at least 5 years. Doesn't really work, doesn't have much to offer anyway. Apparently joining it is fucking easy, but I can't access my profile or any of the site until I get my account verified. And there's a high probability it never will be verified. Yeah, see, this is what happens whenever I try to access anything on MySpace without a verified account. So the only thing I can think to do is try a different email. And if it doesn't send through to that, then I've got fucking nothing. I've changed my email, and I've sent it... Oh, hold on. Holy shit, it's come straight through! Yes! Right. Okay. We're in. I'm going to set up a MySpace account, and that's how we're going to finish this video. Because we had a quick look through the rest of the site, and I'm sure you'll agree there's really not that fucking much here. And to be honest, I didn't expect to find much. And to be honest, you shouldn't have expected to find much either. Uploads are temporarily disabled. Why are they temporarily disabled? I've verified my account. Can I not even upload a profile picture? Yeah, I can't. I just straight up can't upload my profile picture. That's really shit, to be honest. That's pissed me off. Fuck. Yeah, that's annoying. Right, we will at least put up a post. We need something good, because this is probably going to be the only MySpace post I ever make. Actually, can I post memes? Uploads are temporarily disabled. Is this something to do with, like, is there like a 30-day limit before I can do this shit? I mean, it doesn't say anything. Yeah, it's just kind of like, I can't do it then. I mean, that might just be because... I really can't tell. Like, it might just be that I'm a new account, so I can't do this shit yet, but I've never seen a social media site do that before. You know, you can usually upload a profile picture at least. So I can't upload pictures. I can upload music, but I can't upload videos, and I can share my location. But that's about it. I can only really do text posts. Okay, fine. I'm about to make me a bitch sandwich. Anyone want any? And then homies only. No haters. M8. And I tell you what, we'll do an angry smiley face as well, just to really hammer home how serious I am about this. Is it there? Oh yeah, there it is. I'm about to make me a bit... Yeah, there we go. So that's how you can verify that you've got the right MySpace page. That is my first MySpace post in 2022. Yeah, you know what? That's about all I can do, to be honest, looking at it. There's not much else to this. The site is shit and has nothing to offer. Profile system is complete and utter ass. It took me ages to get a verification email anyway. And then when I finally did get verified and access to my own site, half of it doesn't work. But anyway, that is my MySpace account and my in-depth review of MySpace. You are welcome to go down into the description and follow this page. It will be there. If this meme blows up enough, I will post more shit there. Yeah. I don't think there's much else to this, to be honest. Fuck this site. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. That was my look at MySpace, and I think we can all agree that that was a pretty big fucking waste of time, to be honest. Oh, I appear to have a visitor. I wonder who that could be. Alright then, bitch. Hold up, hold up. I've been looking for that book for near on 13 years. Sorry, but who the fuck are you? I've never met you before. Why are you here?
And then you come and take it out of my clutches right as I'm about to fucking get it. I'm not having that, mate. I'm not having that at all.
Oh, do you mean this book? Book of MySpace? Is that what you're on about?
You better hand me that book over right now, or so help me. I'm gonna make your life a world of pain.
Yeah, here, you can have it if you want.
I will track down everyone you've ever loved and... Wait, I can?
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, to be honest, there's fuck all in it, so it's of no value to me.
Hold on, what?
Well, yeah, I said so earlier in the video. MySpace managed to delete all of its information from before 2015. So there's nothing in this book from before 2015. I mean, I only tracked it down because I wanted to learn about, you know, the origins of the clickbait confederacy, but there's fucking nothing here. Who cares what happened to MySpace after 2015?
Oh. Well, that's 13 years of my life thoroughly wasted.
Are you sure you don't want the book? You can have it.
Yeah, you know what, actually, keep it. I suddenly gone off the idea. I think I need to go back to my own dimension and find a new hobby. Well, that was anticlimactic anyway. Anyway, boys and girls, I think this is about it for this video. Mother Moocake's worn out. He's done a lot of searching, a lot of scrolling, and he's just been attacked by some dude with apparently a red bandana for a face. The Moocake Show budget is so fucking low, you have no idea. If you did enjoy this video though, thanks very much for sticking all the way through. Any support you can throw me, a like, a share, a subscribe, it's all tremendously appreciated. Thank you very much in advance. If you'll excuse me though, boys and girls, I've got some very, very important blogging to do on Bebo, so I'll see you around. You can fuck off now.